Welcome to Big Dick's Picks. And no, this is not a dick measuring contest. This is your one-stop shop for all your sports gambling needs. Today, I'm joined by two of my co-hosts. Oh, wait, sorry. I always forget about the other one. Three of my co-hosts and our first guest of the season. Boys, let's kick it off. Let's kick it off to EPR first. How you doing? What's going on?
God. Well, super excited to be here again. Last week was a blast, minus the results.
Yep.
So, yeah, just happy to be here and turn that around because I got a better feeling this week.
Boys, I'm not gonna lie. For Amesy's locks, not the best start, I would say. It was a positive 0 for 3. An optimistic 0 for 3.
The anti-lock.
Yes.
Some would call it that. This week, though, we don't have locks. We have golden locks.
And
And
He's Goldilocks this
so,
week.
it's gonna be 3 for 3. Those last locks, they were jokes.
So you really think you're gonna get back to 3 for 6 there, Amesy?
yeah.
All right. Well, let's see that. And it's also.
Knows if it were right in front of him.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Buddy.
All right. Okay.
Richard, get out of here,
All
Richard.
right, dude. This week it's gonna be 100%, and last week, it's the past. We got short memories, man. It's all about betting. Sure, having a short memory is the best way to just lose a shit ton of money.
Yep.
That's how my grandpa lost his house.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that's because it burned down.
And one of the big things about this podcast, we say be like Big Mo's grandpa. So we have that written on the wall.
Yes, that is engraved.
All
Anyways.
right. Well, hey, it's really rude of us. I have the pleasure of introducing our first guest on this show, Mikey. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. Howdy. Glad to be a first guest, a guinea pig, and to be experimented on today.
Dude, you ready to
That
go?
sounds-
You ready to go 0 for 3 with us, man? It's
We should
know.
no. So y'all are having to go 3 for 3 in order to lock in, a good winning percentage on the year. Not even counting in the vig. I just have to go 2 for 3 today and lock that in, and I'll just beat your averages for the rest of the season.
Oh,
So that's my goal today.
That's a good strategic
I like
play
the
there,
confidence.
Mikey. Good strategic play.
And
Yeah.
Big Mo, I know you might explain it here what we're going to do for the little competition with all our guests this season. So, but I think Mikey is going to do a great job. He sounds confident.
You're
But,
just trying to get him to pick your freaking picks.
well,
EPR, come on, that's a big dick move there.
I think I can butter him up a little bit.
All right.
And EPR did mention it right there. We are going to be doing a little bit of a challenge for you listeners at home. Every single week, we're going to be bringing on different guests, specifically people that we know. So they are all celebrities, which you already knew that. But we're going to be doing a March Madness style bracket at the end of our season. So that means that we're going to be bringing on a specific number of guests yet to be determined, and that will determine our season length. So, Mikey, how you feeling about being the potential number 1 seed in this year's March Madness bracket?
Oh wow, I didn't know the stakes was that high, and as a C-list celebrity, I'm ready to get to the B-list, so that's why I'm here.
All right.
Are we ready
Well,
to jump into our first segment, the most anticipated segment, some might say, of the pod?
Yep, we are ready to jump into that. Every week we are going to stick to the same format. So just so you know, we're going to be competing against each other with our picks every single week. But to begin every podcast, we're going to start it off with our favorite, the fan favorite. Maybe not the fan favorite. We got a lot of good segments, but maybe the fan favorite, the snake draft.
Yes. Wait, I don't know what Big Dick's poking me on the shoulder for. Dude, leave me alone. Leave me.
Fuck, I'm itching for a dart. I'm gonna go outside and rip another.
All right, time to freaking lock the door while you're
Well,
out there. Let's
that
get
is
let's
really-
get a segment out of the way without your freaking negativity.
Yeah, that's some really good timing. So I think we should definitely dive in before he gets back, because he rips them down fast.
Wait, what's going on there? I'm so this for our listeners at home. This is my our first time trying out recording, not all in person,
Right.
and Big Dick is there with AMZ and APR. What's going on there?
He's
What
going
did he
out.
say? I
He's
couldn't
going
hear
out
him.
to the garage to rip a dart while we do this segment.
Oh, okay.
And we
All
just
right, good.
we locked the door behind him. We wanted to have control over this situation. So we're gonna get right into it. This week, I'm gonna be up here with the first pick. Then we're gonna go Big Mo second. We're gonna go EPR with the wraparound. And Big Mo, you were talking about something about judging. What were you saying?
Yeah, so that's also another additional segment that we're going to bring in with our guests every single week. The judge of our snake draft is going to be our one and only guest, Mikey, this week. Let's hear
Wow,
it.
I feel
Let's
special.
go.
Round of applause for everyone at home.
I expect a goodie bag for my services, and I'm ready.
All right.
It's in
Well,
the mail.
the segment this week is, or the question this week for the snake draft is, if you could change one rule in any sport, what would you do? Adding something, subtracting something to make the sport better, what would you choose? So that is going to be our topic. I'm going to be leading us off. And I got a couple great ones to lead us off. I'm gonna start with I'm gonna go to polo. I wanted to get this. You know that the sport, English sport. You know, you're on horses. You're playing some sort of ball or whatever, some sort of shit like that. I am going to change the rule. Instead of horses, one team is going to ride gazelles and the other team's going to ride lions. So we're going to add in a new aspect to the sport. Not only are you trying to score, but, you know, one team's going to be a little bit faster, but they might get eaten. So there's a chance that, you know, you might lose your mount, and if you do that, you might lose yourself, because we are playing with lions as well. So, you know, half one team with gazelles, one team with lions. That's going to be my first pick. I had to take that.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
What if the lion decides the gazelle is too hard, but the person that's trying to ride him is a lot easier?
Well, then you should have chose the gazelles. I mean, you know that coin toss real important with lions versus gazelles polo. I'm
so
not
two
gonna
rule
lie.
changes. There's a coin toss as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect. Well, what do you got, Big Mo?
I absolutely cannot believe that was the first pick overall. I am just shocked that this
Bit of a reach.
this
Are you
pick-
kidding me? I need to. Okay.
That was a
all
bit
right.
of a reach, but,
Feels
but
like a Zach Wilson situation, but I
Alright.
like it. The kid's got talent.
Okay.
Kid's got talent.
Uh-huh.
yeah, the only reason that I'm saying this is because my pick is so solid. I've been scouting this pick for millennia.
Mhm.
My pick, first round, second overall, to change any sport rule is, instead of having the coaches in the NFL throw that little tiny red challenge flag, they instead throw out customized challenge items.
Customized challenge
Okay.
items.
Andy Reid throws out a cheeseburger. Hear me out, all right?
All
Andy
right.
Reid throws out a cheeseburger. Sean
right.
Payton, he's chucking out $100 bill. It's got a player's name written on it for a bounty. Like that's an ultimate challenge item. We got Mike McDaniels just blowing out a huge cloud of vape.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. That's
Robert Saleh chucks out a cursed baby doll head that Aaron Rodgers gifted him in his darkness retreat. And Everfluss is chucking out bottles of Malort onto the field in Chicago.
Oh.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
I mean, you know what? Sounds like a bit of cleanup there, but I can't believe I let that one slip past, honestly. I mean, that's an outstanding freaking pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate to be the guy that's being a little judgmental on that, but how are the refs trained on recognizing these?
I mean, it would be huge marketing potentials. Like
Okay.
everyone in America is going to know this. It's like it would be hilarious if a ref didn't know one of these challenge
Fair.
items.
Okay.
I like Andy Reid just chucking a big double cheeseburger straight into the ground when he sees. I can see that right now in my brain, and it is outstanding. It's a first round pick. That's
Okay.
good.
All right.
Yeah, I would agree. And I'm stoked that I got him at the second.
All right. Okay.
Well,
EPR, what you got for our third?
I know I got the last pick of the first round here, and usually that means that it's not as good, but I think you guys maybe gave me a little bit too much room because my change would be is in a relay race, you're allowed to use a knife on your opponents after the 100-meter mark.
All right, so you gotta save your speed for those.
You have to
couple
really
legs.
strategize. Do you hit the 100-meter mark really fast so that way you can start playing some offense/defense, or do you kind of stay further back in the pack and sneak up behind people and really get them a jab? Because it's gonna be harder to swing behind
Okay,
you.
yeah, that makes sense.
I think it adds more
Tonight on
strategy to
ESPN
running.
8, the Ocho.
Kind of a Mario Kart situation, you
Yeah.
You don't want to get in front too fast. Okay, all right.
That's
All
true.
right.
That's true.
Okay, good pick. Good pick. What do you got for the second round?
So leading off the second round, since I had the choice for both, I knew I could get away with this, but I think this isn't necessarily specific to one sport, but more or less, I would probably apply this to the large sports like, your basketball, footballs, even just baseball. But you're allowed to hack the other team's Twitter account and turn it into communist propaganda.
Okay. All right. So some mental warfare there, and probably not exactly some positive fan reception. If you're going in and you've you offended about 60% of the stadium.
You are allowed to ruin and smear their reputation while you're beating them.
Okay. That's I mean, talk about taking away home field advantage. I like
When
that
they
play a lot.
instituted that rule, I thought it was a shame.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was just propaganda.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Great
Back
pick,
to
great
Big Mo.
pick.
What do you got?
Oh, it's already back to me?
Yeah,
know.
dude. Second round.
Holy shit. I can't believe. You guys let another just absolute draft prospect dime drop to me again. Like, what the fuck is going on here? All right. Well, it's pretty much an obvious lock. The one rule I would change is if you think NIL deals are cool, imagine if college players were instead paid in scalps. Change those.
Oh my god.
Change those NCAA rules and allow players to be paid the scalps they're owed duly. Come on.
Is this, are they getting these scalps from the relay race they ran earlier?
Wow.
Maybe I don't give a shit where they come from. I just want college players to be compensated fairly, and that's in scalps.
Obviously.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, that's outstanding. That's great.
I feel like there's maybe some cultures that would appreciate that more.
Yeah, I a couple names off my board. But end of the second round. I'm
of
going
big
for a bit of
ones,
a
Couple of big
combination.
ones.
Yeah, I'm going for a combination of sports here. We're gonna go professional cycling with lances.
Oh.
So the one thing we're adding in is lances. So
Not the Armstrong kind?
No, not the Armstrong
Okay.
kind. We're gonna combine jousting with cycling. Usually, you got the peloton, 50 or 60 people strong. You give them a lance, and boy, is that thing gonna thin out. You have to, again, kind of like the relay race. You got to decide when you're gonna have your speed. Otherwise, you're getting lanced from behind. So add a little bit of a excitement to a sport that I like, but I would say the populace may say is a little boring. So
It's a good late
if
second
anything's
round.
if anything's boring, just add lances. I learned that.
The National Cycling Association outlawed armor for the spectators. Let's go.
There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. And leading off the third round, I got two picks left. And I'm gonna go. I also had a rule change for football.
Oh.
My rule change for football is I'm adding that the opposing coach, one coach on either side, they both have a can of bear spray they can use at any time. So bear spray only lasts for 6 seconds. It's very powerful pepper spray.
It's regulated.
It can go up to like 40 feet. So you got a can of bear spray a game, and you got to decide when to use that. So you got a punt returner getting down. Hit him in the lid with some bear spray. He will be hitting the dirt, but you got 6 seconds of it. So you got to decide when to use your bear spray. I feel like this should be added yesterday.
Dang.
But I don't know what you guys think.
I think your third rounder was stronger than your second, man.
I mean, I knew I had 2 picks in a row. I had to end on a big one there.
Dang.
Fuck, you finally took one of my guys I was going to take.
The
Holy
bear spray.
shit.
I got you,
The
man.
bear spray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Real psych out
Man.
whenever they took it with this. Whenever Amesy took it with the second pick in that snake.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know
thought
what?
it might
Knew he had the
fall.
wraparound.
You want to
Yeah.
add in lances to that game too? I would say yes, but I want to add in bear spray first. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
want a bear spray on a lower contract, pick him up in the lower round. Makes
Mhm.
sense. I get it. That's
Yeah.
a that's
Big
a good
Mo,
pick.
He took
Yep.
yours, but do you have a replacement? Is the real question.
Yeah.
You know what? I
you
have
shift?
the deepest draft board in the world.
Mm.
So don't worry. Don't worry about me, APR. Okay.
I'm concerned
Okay.
for your well-being
Why?
because I just think it's
He
downhill
has to
from
draft at Eastern Kentucky.
here.
I'm wondering if he blew.
He's
all
going
of his-
everywhere.
He might have blown all
Yeah.
his talent in the early rounds.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's got.
All right, lay it on us.
It's because my weekend plans entailed a straight jacket and some crack, if you know what I mean.
I know I don't.
All right. No. I still have a solid pick for this round, and that is to allow dump trucks to re-enter the NFL. Imagine how much fun it would be on a Sunday morning. You get to watch Dak Prescott take the snap. He throws it back into the truck bed, and then the truck bed goes for a touchdown every single time,
All right.
taking no prisoners. Let's go. That's what I want to watch.
So
That's
how
what I
many
want.
how many trucks on the field at once?
Only one.
Only
That's how it
one.
used to be.
Oh.
Oh, it's
Okay.
the previous rules,
All
of
right.
course, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what?
1960s rules. Come on.
I
Yeah.
have a
Get with the
feeling.
program.
Pre 64. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that the Cowboys were lobbying for that rule the hardest, so that way they could, make Dak look a little bit better. So, I don't know if you were paid off for that one, but strong pick. I'll give it to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It was a good follow-up. It's a good
Thank
follow-up.
Big trucks in Texas.
Yeah.
Can't approve.
Well, I have a late rounder here in the third, but I had to make a bit of a shift here. Unfortunately, on both our boards, Amesy had ours, so I had to be a little strategic here. But switching to the long jump, right? We're all familiar with what that is.
Mm-hmm.
The sand is replaced with an early spring thawing lake.
Oh, okay. All right. We got some fall through potential.
Yes. And if you need
Wow.
a better image for this, if you ever watched The Dark Knight Rises, just kind of imagine
yeah,
what
the
happens
scene where
there.
they fall through the
Yes.
ice and die. Okay. So you really got to think about that second jump. You get a pretty good score on the first one, maybe you decide to
Exactly.
not go through the ice.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Those athletes better be paid in scalps.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not doing that.
Also, I mean, if that ice is a month early, boy, is that going to hurt the legs. Let me just say.
Well, yeah. So it's like you would use the same way because they do the furthest back mark in the sand. So it's gonna be whatever breaks through. Like
Yeah.
you could get a good jump and it breaks 2 feet behind you.
Ooh,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I like
yes.
it a lot.
I'm seeing a lot of potential here.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank
Okay,
you.
That's a diamond
Okay.
in the rough.
Yeah. Great
Yeah.
pick.
Well, leading off the last round here, I genuinely can't believe this actually still stayed on the board. I thought for sure this was going off like early
I'm
second round.
nervous. I am real nervous.
Back to the NFL, you're allowed to slightly deflate the balls to make them easier to catch.
Oh. Okay.
It's obvious.
All right.
It's never been done before. I think
Yeah.
it would make a great element, right? I think there's a lot of...
Deflate, great.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
Deflate, great.
Yeah, so you've already got a slogan for it. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
You know that.
That is crazy.
And I just made it up.
That idea is freaking patriotic. It's great.
I like it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Very
Big Mo,
nice.
What do you got?
That's a great pick.
Final pick for you of the draft.
Oh, it's me?
Yeah, you got one spot left to fill. That's it.
Ah, shit. Well, you know what, boys? I'm going to use my super draft powers for good, and I'm going to use it to help me win my final fucking pick that I need from last week. And the rule that I'm going to change is that you allow Connor Bedard to play hockey with a rocket launcher. Come on, boys, get out of the front of the net. Bedard's coming. Betsy's coming, boys.
Alright.
Toe drag release that. Dang.
Adding
Yep.
in weaponry. I mean, I like that. It ain't a lance, but it's pretty good.
Um,
I
Do the Blackhawks become the favorite, or are they still
No,
You
they
know,
still
not gonna
they
have
still
enough
find a way to
firepower.
No,
lose.
they still suck.
not
Yeah,
enough
I have it.
firepower?
I
That
have
would-
the game on right now because there's both EPR and I have stakes on this
Yes.
for last week. So
Yep.
yeah, no, Bedard looks like he's in a different league, skating around the rest of his team.
Yeah.
All right.
He truly
Mhm.
does. I will say this. I'll make one comment on that late round pick. When people say he has an absolute rocket of a shot, I mean, how much more accurate would you get?
That's true.
So,
Okay.
True, that's
right.
true. Yeah,
Uh,
bazooka.
Thankfully,
absolute
I- okay, I had this pick in my pocket. You know, I knew I was ending up last. I was hoping this would slip through. I am
Mr.
going,
Irrelevant. Well, here we
yeah,
go.
Mr. Irrelevant. Here we go. I'm going to the sport of basketball. It hasn't been touched yet. I'm gonna say
Whoa.
there's a new rule that everyone can't be taller than 5'4", except the center on both teams. You are gonna have 5'4" people, midgets running around, and then you got 2 trees on either side swatting away the ball. You're gonna have these 5-foot people going up, doing everything they can to get a
Wow.
score. You're gonna have the Pistons beating the Heat 10-6. You know, it's gonna be 2 trees and then a bunch
Yeah.
of birds flying around them. You know, it will be fascinating to watch.
I hate that made it all the way to the 4th round. That actually sounds one of the most entertaining things to watch.
Yep.
Truly, as
Under
a short
5'4",
person myself,
And
that-
then
that
each
sounds
side just got 7'3" at the rim.
All of their coaching strategies are just gonna be like, do I have my centers stay back by the hoop, or do I have them be aggressive?
There's so
That's
much
it.
to
That's
work
the
with
only
here.
coaching strategy you have.
There is so much to work with here. This sport could change the sporting landscape.
Speed is irrelevant.
I mean, there's so many strategies to take forward. Do you stack 3 people on top of each other to try and dunk the ball? I mean, come on.
Probably not.
Probably, but then I would charge them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How much?
I mean, a charge is legal. You just ram
No,
that
no,
thing
not
and-
how much.
I'm kidding.
Yo.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, and they go down like pins. I mean, the whole trench
Well, if you're
coat
thinking
situation.
Giannis could probably get over 5'4", like easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'd hop that.
Absolutely.
All right.
I would. Yao Ming would
I-
be a hot commodity in that league, even if you
That's
can't
true.
move. Like just post up.
Just
Uh-huh.
post
You're good.
up. But the thing is,
Yeah.
you got a big guy on the other side too. Maybe
Right.
you have him lumbered out. I mean, we could talk about this for the rest of the podcast. The ideas are endless.
No, but we won't.
But we won't.
Yeah. Well, I'm
All right,
curious.
does that take us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that finished it off. I'm kind of curious.
All right, well-
what Mikey thinks overall.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? You have any? Well, first we should give him the option. Do you have any rules that you would change, Mikey?
Well, there's
That's
some
fair.
really obvious ones. Obvious, like PEDs definitely need to come back for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I think the one I really would like is just fights in non-hockey sports.
Oh,
Not just like football and baseball. Not like make
like
it
long jump.
decriminalize
Tennis.
it. Yeah, like long jump,
Gymnastics.
tennis. I'm thinking golf. Like
Okay.
you're just
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
somebody just just sink a birdie, and you're just like, man, screw you, whoop their ass.
Bring the
I
fights
think
to
that there
drop
could
the
bring.
glove.
Go
Yeah,
curling.
exactly.
Curling. That could
Yeah.
be a
I
big
think
fight sport.
any
Curling
sport,
fights.
and that's what makes it such
like
such a lot of possibilities.
Put it in.
But I think a lot of really great talent that we see coming into the league now with these picks. Pretty hard to look at where to figure out the best one as the judge. I really like the third round pick, Lake, um,
Mm-hmm.
Thin Lake for
Long
ice.
jump.
That just really, I could
Yeah.
really see that, especially the triple jump. Just so much strategy
Yeah.
there. How light are the people going to be? That's a great one. Deflate, great. Obviously, great name that you came up with.
Thank you. Thank you.
And who doesn't want to see Eberflus tossing his personal Malort onto the field after he's finished it, going 1-16 with the Bears. But honestly, despite a reach at pick number 1, I really do think I have to give it to Amesy. Really good snake in the mid draft, second and third, with cycling and lances and bear spray
Thank you.
for coaches, NFL coaches. And then the 5-4 under league. I mean, really, coming in at Mr. Irrelevant, I think that could have gone, first round easily. So
Thank you.
I have to give it to you, my friend.
Thanks.
Great draft all
Mikey.
around. Buck.
Appreciate it.
We tip our hats to you. I will say, Amesy came into this draft previously saying that we stood no chance, and his confidence was actually a little concerning. So
It was a good draft.
Yeah.
yeah, good job, Amesy.
Good job.
Honestly, if he didn't steal bear spray from me, I
know.
probably would have had.
Dude,
the
I
shot.
know, I killed us.
I
know.
knew
That was-
it was
picked that
in the
top of
balance.
the third round for a reason.
Yep.
I knew it could
Yep.
have been second round, first round talent. I put it right there just to tantalize you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
We're ready to move on to
Well,
some
thank you for judging our first
Yes.
snake draft there,
Thank you.
Mikey. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I just
And,
received the wine bottle that comes with judging. I just
Yeah,
got
you're
that
welcome.
handed by your assistant, so thank you. I
Oh,
will
yeah,
open that
yeah.
up now.
Yeah. Please feel free. Please.
All right. By the way,
Well,
when we get on to the picks, we haven't let in Big Dick yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys were keeping score last week, but he's probably gonna be a little insufferable. He did beat all three of us.
He did.
So
At least so far, to be fair.
we just
Not-
want to prepare.
not
you.
yet.
There's a chance. Bedard scores.
If Bedard scores,
That's true.
Yeah. But as it stands right now, he was definitely not being very humble. So we'll see how he goes. I can hear him scratching on the door like an angry cat, so I guess we'll let him in.
All right, we got it.
He probably reeks of cigarettes right now, but
Yep.
is what it is. That's dealing with Big Dick. So, Big Mo, do we want to kick it off with his picks first, like last week?
yeah, I guess we should probably get him out of the way because I just hate listening to him. So just let him inside, and I guess I'll just I'll take my lickings.
All right. Well, he's coming in.
You done?
Okay. Yep. Well.
All right.
Alrighty, buddy.
All right, for my first pick, I think it's pretty clear after seeing last week's display of the Aggie Bowl, which Aggies are the real ones, which is Utah State. CSU got absolutely dicked down, and now I'm going with Utah State for the rest of the season. Utah State pulling Fresno State this week, plus 215. Utah State Aggies all the way. They rock. CSU sucks. It's just the way it is.
Wow.
Okay. Some
Okay.
CSU hate.
I mean, I don't disagree.
I mean, after watching it,
I
yeah.
might be riding the dick on that one too. Yeah.
Yikes. I
Yeah.
don't agree with the pick. I slightly agree with his reasons. I do think Utah State loses this one. They've got a tough Fresno State team eager to beat them. But yeah, last week was sad for both Big Mo and I. We had higher hopes for our alma mater to get absolutely worked. So,
All right, Dick. What do you got next?
jeez, buddy, jeez.
For my second pick, I'm going to go to the world of hockey like Big Mo in EPR.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know who watches hockey, but apparently those two idiots do. So, with my mass expertise in this field of all sports betting, I'm going to have to go with the Vegas Golden Knights opening game against the Seattle Kraken. Both new franchises overall. I think this is going to be the repeat of the playoffs last year, according to Google. And honestly, I think Vegas is going to have a stellar year. They're the Stanley Cup champions. They're well-deserved. I think they're my team. I'm riding with them all year long. You're going to just have to accept that. I don't care.
That is a strong opinion.
Wow.
Okay. I want to say, Big Dick, that you truly just want to ride our coattails because you don't. I don't think Big Mo. Do you think he knows anything about hockey? Truthfully,
No.
no. Is it possible that maybe he's picking them just because they won the Stanley Cup last year and he's bandwagoning a little bit?
I mean,
I think so.
He said he found it out on Google. He didn't even watch the freaking games. I mean, I can't give him too much hate because he swept the floor with me that last week, but I still hate it.
He's also placing a bet that's happening very, very soon. So while we're recording this game is going to be happening here. So very eager and bold to do so.
Almost like the first NHL bet he saw.
He literally, it's like he opened the page and saw Vegas Golden Knights advertised against the Seattle Kraken, was like, there's my pick.
Wow.
That's what I'm going for.
Really care a lot about this podcast,
Yeah.
don't you, Big Dick?
I just, that's ridiculous.
Well, fuck you then.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that other than Big Dick was probably at the casino at the time that he placed that, and the only thing that he cared about was, oh, Vegas.
Yeah. You guys would all be lost without my help.
No, we would not. That's not true at all. Okay. Well, Big Dick, what do you got for your third pick?
Oh,
For my
God.
third and final pick, we have the 3-1 series win by the Astros over those dirty Twins. They stand no chance. I think the Astros finish it off. They have the better tactics. Those odds, minus 115, might as well be minus 400. It's the same thing.
Okay.
No, they are not, Big
No.
Dick.
Of course, he's a freaking Astros fan, by the way.
And
Okay.
the audacity to say they have better tactics. Interesting.
I think he's just an Astros fan because he likes trash cans so much.
Trash cans, anything he can drop his cigarettes in. It's
Yeah. It's just anything that's a receptacle. Big Dick is putting his shit in it.
Oh my gosh.
How about you shut the fuck up?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm glad I can still pull his heartstrings when I'm 100 miles away. Big Dick.
Yeah, he's got red in his eyes
Yeah.
right now, Big Mo. He's
Yeah.
got red in his eyes.
Oh.
You wanna?
That's great.
you wanna
Don't
lead
let him
off?
get some whiskey because he'll fight. He'll fight everyone.
What do we
He'll actually fight
think? I mean, overall, how do we think he's gonna do after he did last week?
I mean, I feel like I get for the 1 week. I just gotta not say anything because
Yeah.
I got handed a big,
Well, humble pie.
piece of humble pie last
Yeah.
week. So I'm gonna stay quiet.
Yeah, he's literally flipping us off right now and smirking. It's ridiculous. How about you show some
Yeah.
grace, buddy?
Yeah.
Just hit him in the nuts again. That always works.
It does.
Just
it
a
does.
quick
Oh,
tap.
he backed
It does,
up. He
yeah.
backed up. All right,
Oh,
I think
all
you
right,
can get your
good,
pick in
good.
before he gets back here.
All right. And I hate to do it, but I'm actually gonna ride Big Dick's pick on the Golden Knights. I think that's a good pick. Opening night in Vegas.
Wow. Gonna write his pick right away.
I know.
I think the Kraken have a lot to prove, honestly. So we'll see. We will see.
Yeah. Well, yep. We shall see tonight after Bedard scores his first goal, and I'm tied with Big Dick in the overall podcast battle.
Yeah.
But
We will
I
likely
think
see that by the end of the game. Maybe By the
exactly.
end of the podcast.
Yep, he's gonna score in the middle of my picks as long as I take enough time so that they get back from intermission.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Really
just kidding, I'm
bold
not gonna
move,
do
guys,
that.
both of you, with the minus 176 money line pick on Golden Knights. I'm very impressed.
Yeah,
Coming
really
off.
going in.
Yeah. I know. Impressive, right?
I like it.
I like it. It's good. No, it's good.
What do you
Should
got?
win.
What's number 2?
All right. Well, so that was not my pick. I was just
you're
admiring
riding the
because
dick. Okay.
because if you are not a hockey fan out there, I am absolutely ecstatic. It is the opening night of the NHL season, and with that, I'm only going to do one NHL pick out of my three. But
The
that's
confidence was
because
high, and then I felt like I got brought back down.
hey, it's almost impossible to bet on early season NHL. So
100% agree.
yeah, you gotta get a feel for teams, and I feel like the Pittsburgh Penguins, I'm at least getting a chance to watch them. I know that they're going to be playing again against Washington before the next airing of this podcast. So my first pick that I'm going to lock in is going to be Pittsburgh Penguins money line against Washington Capitals. They go on the road. Mikey, I know you're a Caps fan, so
I'm
I
heartbroken.
apologize. I apologize, but I
This
think
isn't
that
our
the
year.
advantage. Hey, I'm not saying that. I think Ovi is still going to have a great year. I think he's going to break the all-time scoring record. But I think in early NHL season, the advantage goes to the team that has more games played, at least in the first couple weeks. So
That's-
I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Penguins money line minus 120 on the road.
All right.
I like that. I like that. It sounds like Big Dick has something to say.
Yeah,
but
what do you got, buddy?
I don't know.
Big Mo, I really like your pick. I mean, I misspoke. I really hate your pick.
Okay.
Some strong words there from Big Dick.
I
Wow.
thought he had something better to say. I'm so sorry for giving him the mic.
Hit him in the nuts next time. Don't give him the mic, please.
All
Please.
right.
Please let me get through my picks without the ear-shattering voice that Big Dick has from smoking all those darts and having just absolutely the most gross encounters every weekend.
What you
All right,
got?
all
What you
All
got?
right.
I like
all
the
right,
first
all right,
one.
All right. Second pick. Actually, my second and third pick are going to both be parlays.
Oh,
Okay.
My
I'm taking
first-
pick one off mine.
My first parlay is going to be the absolute lock.
Uh-oh.
Absolute lock.
Uh-oh,
I'm calling it.
Okay. All right. Hey, it's not a golden lock. It's just a lock. That's fine.
Absolute lock. The two undefeated teams in the NFC. I got San Francisco 49ers money line, and I got the Philadelphia Eagles money line parlayed for minus 104.
Okay.
Brave.
All right.
I like it. I actually like it. I think those are the two teams personally
The
that
Eagles
have
did
not
look a lot
disappointed
better
me.
this. Yeah, they looked a lot better this week. You know, they were a lot of shaky wins early on, but you know, it seems like they found their rhythm.
San Francisco hasn't lost it.
And San Francisco is just ridiculous. But yeah,
Yeah, and Christian McCaffrey still has functioning ACLs, so I think that side of the parlay is okay.
I mean, there was
You say
11.
that now.
There was 11 minutes left in the game, and they were playing Sam Darnold against the Cowboys because they were already crushing them by that much. So
Yeah.
if that says something about you know, the 49ers.
They did so well, as
True.
a matter of fact, that Big Mo knows this. I was playing against him in fantasy this week, and I beat him for that reason. He had the big guns out. He had San Fran's defense. He had McCaffrey, and he had Samuel Debo, right? And
Yep.
because they got sat pretty much by the end, it was like, all right,
Yep.
no more points for Big Mo. This
Yeah.
is a win for me. And that's exactly
Rub it
how I
in.
squeaked it out. So
Rub it
I had to
in.
rub it
Rub
in
it
while
in.
we're live here. You know, feels
We
good.
got-
Feels
I get
right.
it.
So
I get
this was almost one of my picks, San Francisco. This line has actually moved. I think this could be Vegas is saying this could be a trap game because this started off at like 2.5. It opened at 2.5, went to 4 yesterday, and is at minus 5.5. The spread on the game now. So a lot of money
Really?
pouring in on 49ers side.
Mhm.
But Vegas originally thinking a bit of a trap game here. Cleveland could be the second best defense in the league right now.
They
But,
are good.
But really interested. I think Philadelphia will manage to take on the Jets. Jets won their Super Bowl last week
Yeah.
against Sean Payton, and I'm very happy for him.
Ouch. Ouch. So I'm just shocked that Big Dick wasn't just absolutely against that pick because of how much he loves Watson. So
He does love Watson.
he does.
He is his favorite player.
It is. Yeah, he's got a poster of him
He's
in his
got-
bedroom.
Yeah, just character. He's a character man. You know.
It helps them sleep at night.
Mhm.
Apparently.
The big, what do they call them? The big. They had the ads for them. You'd put them on the wall as a kid.
Oh yeah,
fatheads.
Fatheads.
Fat head, yeah, he's got like a fat head.
Yeah. Yeah, I could make a Deshaun Watson joke about that, but I'm gonna not, because I'm not Big Dick. I'm gonna keep it PG.
Oh,
Here we go.
no.
And Big Dick's outside, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, he left.
Yes.
right,
Big Mo, you
good.
got one more?
I do have one more. And for my third and final pick this week, it's another parlay going into the college football world. I got Kansas money line parlayed with Wyoming plus 10.
Okay.
All right, I like it. I think.
Don't need to add anything else. It's a parlay that'll help you sleep at night.
Nice.
That's fair.
What are
That's
our odds
fair.
on
Yep.
that again?
That is at plus 200.
Plus 200.
Plus 200.
Okay, laying
Okay.
it more on the line. I like it.
Early season, I would have said that would have been scary, but
Mm-hmm.
I've liked the way Kansas has played. So I will back
I mean,
you on
and
that. I think
Wyoming
it's
is
good.
playing Air Force too, and they have the wishbone offense.
Oh yeah.
And so I think they're gonna break it. You know.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous on that side of the parlay. I'm not on the Kansas side, but I do think Air Force is a force to be reckoned with. So
Well, you're a Nebraska guy, and
That has nothing to do with Air
Nebraska's
Force.
pretty much Kansas, so of course you like them.
they're not Kansas at all.
Oh, okay.
Kansas has actually won games.
All right.
Is that-
All right, that's fair. Okay, I'm gonna jump in next. I got 3 picks. They're golden locks. We're gonna start, since we've talked about it. I like the 49ers and I like them big.
Yeah. How
I'm
big?
going 49ers alternate spread minus 12.5 for plus 223. Now, I was
bold.
thinking about the games this week, and something I realized is the Browns and the Cowboys are actually, their teams are kind of similar. You know, they have quarterbacks that are not very proven, paid a lot of money. They have a running game, unfortunately for the Browns because of Nick Chubb, that, you know, is not able to really carry the load anymore. They have talented wide receivers, just like the Cowboys do. And on defense, you know, they have a game wrecker in Myles Garrett, just like the Cowboys do. The one thing is the Browns do have a better secondary. And they do have some players in the secondary that can wreak havoc. But, you know, looking at everything else, the way that the 49ers were able to cut through the Dallas defense gave me a lot of confidence on this game. And I don't see the Browns being able to put up any more points than the Cowboys could. So I'm going big. I'm going minus 12.5. We'll see if it's close. We'll see if it's not. But that's for plus 223, and you know, that's bet number 1.
Wow.
You think that's gonna help you get back to 3 out of 6?
I think he's throwing for a long bomb there to try to catch up.
You know,
he's
to-
taking some risks.
To quote,
yeah.
To quote, you know, the Black Eyed Peas, I got a feeling. I got a feeling, and you know, it's
All right.
this is
All
only
right, all
this
right.
is only, you know, this has only done me wrong about half the time. So I'm sure it's gonna go well.
All right.
I love it.
So
I mean, it can't go worse than last week.
that's
not true.
That's another way to look at it
No.
right there.
It can.
Stick to your units. Stick to your units, and if that is true.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sticking to the unit.
Practice responsible gambling here.
The units.
Well,
is in
some
my,
of us. I don't know about Big
Yep.
Dick.
The units is in my home unit. That's going to be going up for you know, a second mortgage soon. So second pick here. I am picking the Raiders -3 over the Patriots. I know the Packers are absolute ass, but so are the Patriots. And I was very impressed with the Raiders on Monday night. And that was with them really not getting their offense rolling all day. You know, Devontae Adams did pretty much nothing. Jacobs was very okay. You know, for -3, I think that is a great number against the Patriots, who look completely lost. You know, the one person who's great on their team is Judon, and he's injured. So, that's what I feel about the Patriots. They might be contenders for the top 3 worst team in the NFL right now. The Raiders are only okay, but I think they're good enough to cover a -3 spread. So that's at minus 112. And then
That's very big.
Is Zappy playing? Do you think Zappy could come in?
I think I think it might be Zappy time. I think Zappy might come in. If not, he might come in at halftime. I mean, Bill Belichick and his patented sound bites that literally say nothing. But he said something along the lines of, we have to change everything and go back to the start. So, that, also, Mac Jones looks like, I'm trying to think of a word worse than terrible.
Bad? Oh.
Yeah, bad works. We can go with bad. He looks bad.
Atrocious.
Yeah, atrocious. There we go. He looks
He's
bad.
a lot of touchdowns for the opposite team this year.
Yes, very much so.
He just forgets which team he's playing for.
And
that's
Max
all.
Crosby on the Raiders was a menace. So, I wouldn't say no. This isn't a lock, but if you want to go Raiders defensive touchdown, I could see a strip scoop and score happening.
Huh.
What's the odds on
It's
that?
like
I
the
wonder.
Bronco familiarity there.
Yeah, that is. It's pretty much a Broncos play at this point. And then I got one more, and this is going to be a 2-pick parlay, and it's going to be on the Oregon-Washington game. And I'm going Washington money line over on the 67 points. So, I'm a big Penix guy for Washington. I think he's great as long as he doesn't get injured. And Oregon, scores a crap ton of points. So between the two, I'm thinking it's going to be like a 47-40 kind of game. But I think that Washington's going to pull it out in the end.
I like that.
I'm not worried about that game, honestly. I think Oregon is pretty
Oregon's good.
scary.
They're scary.
Thank you.
I mean, I think they're
Yes.
going to score 40 points. I do, but I just think that Washington, its weapons are out of this world, and I just trust their quarterback a little bit more. So, when it comes down to that last drive, I just, I have a feeling he's going to have the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to the rhythm of the game for those teams.
Yep.
If Oregon determines the pace, I think Oregon wins. I think if
Also,
Washington,
they're very closely matched, and it is at Washington.
Yeah. But Washington, here's the thing. Here's the point, and you guys will hear my picks here soon. But one of these two teams has to lose, right? Both of them have notoriously, when they have great seasons, lose when they shouldn't. So it is a total coin flip overall. So good. I like it.
All right.
I like it. Well, I guess we'll go to my picks here.
Does that wraps up Amesy's picks. All right, EPR kick us off.
So I didn't like how I did this last week, other than how the Penguins are doing right now. That's the only part that might come through for me.
All right.
So I kept it a little bit more simple this week. I picked the Vikings over the Bears for -142, even without Jefferson, because I have him on my fantasy team. They still were able to do some things. And I think the Bears are just bad enough that overall, we should see a win from the Vikings. So I think that's going to have to go for my first one.
EPR -142.
I think that's
Do you get
a good
thrill
pick.
for going 5 miles over the speed limit.
Wow.
All right.
Yikes.
All right. Okay.
That is not very nice.
-142. He does got you there.
Yeah, well, I wanted something that felt a little bit more secure for me for once. So
You don't like him on the 2.5?
Picked the -170 bet earlier, you fucking ass.
yeah, I'm getting chirped by the guy whose odds were by far worse. Well, for my second pick, going back to what we were just talking about, I actually have Oregon taking Washington.
Okay, all right.
I've got Oregon winning
Going
money
against
line.
the Golden Locks.
Yeah.
The beautiful Golden Locks.
Well, I don't think that game's a lock for anybody.
All right.
Oregon +130. I really think the fact that Oregon was +130, that's pretty good money. And Oregon has, just like Washington, all the weapons that they need to put up a ton of points. And just doing a little analytics on each one, both teams have kind of faced the same sort of schedule, I would argue. I just think Washington has shown not as much offensive brilliance. And I think personally, again, if Oregon can determine the pace of the game, Oregon simply just outscores them. Well, that's how every team wins. But I think they purely it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think they just continue to score, just pile it on.
I will say, if you do look up offensive brilliance in the dictionary, a picture of Michael Penix does come up.
Oh, yes?
Yeah,
Okay. All
okay.
right. Yeah. Jeez. Well, I think you're making that up. Did you get that information from Big Dick? Yeah, I see him passing
I
the
will
sticky
say,
notes right
it
now.
could go back and forth. One thing you're hearing from me and EPR, you might want to pick the over for this game.
Yeah, I think so. I think the over is a good one.
I would agree with that.
Yep.
I mean, the over is at 67 and a half,
67
though.
and a half.
Yeah.
But like,
You see, that makes me want to bet the under. I feel like
that's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
You know-
This could be a shootout, a 35-30 shootout, and the under hits.
That's true.
So-
I don't.
Good.
I think
That's
there's a
true.
chance both teams aren't in the 30s for this game.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out on Saturday, right?
So-
So for my last pick, rounding this off, we have I've got the Blue Jackets to an NHL bet here, winning their first game over the Flyers. I know there's been 2 toilet bowl teams for the last couple seasons. Both have been very rocky. The reason I'm picking the Blue Jackets, I know they're minus 130 and they are favored, but Logan Cooley just looks sick. I think he's super underrated as one of the rookies going into this year. All the focus is on Fantilli and obviously Bedard being the biggest. But Logan Cooley looks incredible. I think the Blue Jackets have an absolute gem with that player. Big future for them. And I think some good things are going to come out of this first game to give them a little bit of confidence moving forward. I don't think they're going to have a great season. I just think they're going to beat a Flyers team that does not have that same kind of confidence and passion that they get with some of these amazing drafts that have come out of this last year.
I like it.
Alright, nice.
Well, with that, let's take it over to our first ever guest of the show. Mikey is one of my close friends. He's one of the best gamblers that I know. Let's kick it off with our first ever guest segment. Maybe the potential first ranked team in our March Madness bracket. Mikey, what do you got lined up for us?
All right. Well, thank you for the rousing introduction.
Is that rousing or arousing?
Woohoo, woohoo, you're
You
doing
said take it as you will.
Okay. Big Dick Will.
Big Dick. Yeah, Big Dick. I hear him chuckling in the background.
He's doing more than
very
that,
mature.
trust me.
Awesome. So I went pretty simple. I just did 3 on the spread, close to even odds, NFL picks. So like I said before, we're obviously hoping for a 3-0 week, but a 2-1 week wins us money because these are all pretty close to even odds. So I'm just gonna hop right into it. My first pick is gonna be Dallas minus 2.5 at the Chargers, and this is actually gonna sound like maybe a bit of a square bet. Everyone maybe loves Dallas. I was high on Dallas earlier in the year. But I really do think that they're undervalued right now. They did get embarrassed by a team that is flying high that really, I think, put a lot of energy into kicking Dallas's teeth in last week in the 49ers. And Dallas shows that when it's embarrassed, it pounces back. It had 38-3 victory after their loss to Arizona when they beat New England. Another big thing in this game is that it says on the schedule at LA Chargers, and it will, funny enough, be played in California, but that will not be a home game for the Chargers. That will be a home game for Dallas. That crowd is going to be heavily on Dallas with how many fans are out there and how much the moving around of the Chargers team has left them without a solid fan base. So I really like that pick. Dallas is 3-2 against the spread this year. Chargers are 2-2, so not a big discrepancy there. But I really think Dallas might seem undervalued after the whooping that they took on
Now-
Sunday Night Football.
You say Dallas responds well after losing, right? They bounce back. Has that really been true though? Since they always disappoint themselves
after
and
the
not going to a Super Bowl.
This season, at least. I mean, after that Cardinals game, they came out with.
It's a
fire.
small sample size, so
Yeah.
I mean it's a lot. It's loose, but I really just think that crowd is going to be on Dallas heavily, and Dallas is, we're only laying the 2.5. We just have to win this game by a field goal, and I think even if Dallas plays an ugly game, they can pull out, a win in the end. They got a great kicker,
Yeah, they do.
guy who used to be a former MLS guy,
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I trust him.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but you guys are fucking boring.
I honestly like the pick.
Big
The
dick,
only thing I
shut
don't
up.
like about it is that. Oh, sorry. I can't even hear when he's talking. I'm so glad I'm not there.
Dude, you're
man.
not.
But what I was saying though is good. But I like the pick. The only thing I dislike about it is that every time I bet against the Chargers, I lose money for some reason. So I'm riding with you, Mikey, in spirit.
To
All
support
right.
what
Not his
Mikey
wallet.
said, I will say there's a ranking of like the top of all 32 teams on their home crowd, and the Chargers came in at number 32.
Yeah.
So literally, the fans don't care about them.
And Dallas
yet.
travels.
And
Dallas,
Dallas
is a traveling
travel.
fan
Dallas
base.
and the Packers are the
Countrywide,
top
yeah.
two by far. Dallas, Packers, Steelers. Like that's it.
For sure.
Yeah, they
Um,
travel and they
so-
have nationwide fan bases.
Yeah, I mean,
for
it could
sure.
be
Yeah.
it's 60. It could be 60-40. It could be 65% Dallas. Like that's how much.
All right. Well, what do you got for your second one?
All right, second one is another team that I am high on. They look really good last week, and I didn't bet this game because I knew it would be good for some of my season-long bets, so I didn't want to double down with a little bit of pot committed. But Jacksonville, I have them right now. I think that game is up to -4. I got it at -3.5 versus Indianapolis. This is a division game, so it is tough. But Jacksonville already covered the spread earlier this year at Indianapolis, which has been a problem for them in the past when they go to Indy. But obviously they're back in Jacksonville. Just come off of a really good win against Buffalo, who people thought were one of the top 3 teams in the league. Jax is on the uprise, so again, they already covered the spread early in the year. Pretty heavily sharp bet. A lot of people really like Indianapolis. Gardner Minshew's probably going to start, and he does have a higher floor but a lower ceiling than Anthony Richardson. And yeah, I just really like that bet because I think Jacksonville is on a different echelon, is a different level of team than Indianapolis, despite what some in the public might think.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
I will say, Mikey, watch out because you might bet Jacksonville and they might even win, and your fellow podcasters might still just mock you about the game because it was close, even though they didn't end up covering the spread. I will say.
Was
week
this about Kansas City?
No, this happened week
Oh, no.
1. I was on Jacksonville. I was saying it was a lock, and I got shit on the entire game, and they ended up freaking covering it in the end, and I still got shit on, even
Yes.
after the game.
Because you
after
lost
they
the other
covered
part
it.
of your lock.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The other
it's-
part of your lock was the Commanders. to
I know,
cover.
but all I heard about was Jacksonville for like 2 weeks, and they freaking won.
Yeah, I'm really high on Jacksonville this year. I think people
well.
over the last year or so, Trevor Lawrence is an ascending player. I think he's a top 4-3 quarterback in the league.
And Calvin Ridley's nuts. I mean, he comes
Oh,
out of
yeah.
his breaks like crazy.
Yeah, and he's a fellow, and we have to root for Calvin Ridley as a fellow degenerate gambler.
Yeah, that's true.
And Doug Peterson, because we went to the same university, so he's a fellow alma mater
Okay.
guy.
All right.
So yeah.
Little home
All right.
connection.
Pick number 2. That's already feeling like 2-0. So maybe I was a little too humble at the beginning of this.
Also,
This
Quick update, real quick. EPR Chicago just tied it, so
Oh,
you're looking
boy.
maybe potentially at an 0-3 start as well as AMC there. So
And
I'm
wait,
sorry to interrupt you there, Mikey,
who
but
tied it
please
for
continue.
Chicago?
Not Bedard.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say.
He's
I
got
was
he's
about
got
to
an
say.
apple. He's got an apple.
Nah. Yeah.
Not a rocket
good, that's
launcher
good for
though.
the
Need his
future.
rocket launcher.
He does. He
Yeah,
needs-
if he had a rocket launcher, he'd have
That's
fucking
true. Or a
20 goals.
Lance.
I
Or-
still haven't
or
been.
Lance.
I still haven't been to the Blackhawks, a Blackhawks game yet.
I'm
At
gonna
least
go here
not in recently.
weeks.
So,
Yeah, you got to go watch Bedard. He's a stud.
Yeah.
all right, I will be grabbing tickets soon. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, and that brings me to my third pick, which I actually originally did have San Francisco in this spot, and then I really thought about it and saw that it looked to me like a trap game. There's a narrative right now about the hottest team in the NFL getting embarrassed, 5 for 5 every week if you look back.
That is very true.
Chiefs, Lions, Cowboys, Dolphins, Bills right now. So that would be the 49ers up next. But to my actual pick, this is one that might, a lot of people I don't see betting this, especially because it's an unfavorable number. But Seattle plus 2.5 at Cincinnati. So hear me out. Cincinnati did just look really good, but if you watch that
Yeah.
game, there was some deficiencies still. Joe Burrow is, what he's doing is a lot of really quick throws, getting it out, getting it to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase set a franchise record with 15 catches in that game, a lot of volume, and they looked great because they were able to get it off. But Arizona, I don't think has the talent right now, despite being a good story. So looking deeper into it, we have Seattle coming off a bye. That's just a great spot, obviously, to be in. T. Higgins right now still questionable, and you're looking against that Jamar Chase having to go up against either Devon Witherspoon or Tariq Woolen, plus a double team. You have such good corners there that you really have a lot of flexibility in what you want to do against that Bengals pass offense. And
You're saying it makes him just more one-dimensional at this point? The
well,
Bengals
I just
offense?
think that the one thing that the Bengals have right now, especially if T. Higgins is out and you just have Jamar Chase, and you look at Joe Burrow it was either 1 for 4 or 1 for 5 of his passes over something like 20 yards. He had the one long shot to Jamar Chase, and then he wasn't able to complete any of his other ones, and that's been a narrative over the season with his injuries, that he can't hang in there for the long balls, and really get it, which is Jamar Chase's strength.
Right.
I think, Pete Carroll's going to see that, and he's got the players, the young talent, and some really good defensive guys to come in here and shock Cincinnati after they just won a game playing for their season, essentially.
Okay. I like the
I
reasoning.
like it a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Damn,
you,
it sounds
you.
like Mikey's got better locks than maybe.
No, you can't call them
Amesy?
locks yet.
What?
I can't
We
call
gotta-
them
we gotta
locks
walk
because
away.
I was on Dallas. I told people Dallas was gonna win outright. So, and I'm still on Dallas this week. So I will refuse to call them locks until after all 3 of them hit, and then you can call them all locks next week.
Mine are
And then you'll be
locks.
our number 1 seed.
I can't wait.
Well,
All right. Well,
our first ever guest picks. Let's see
yeah,
how they
first
match up for next week.
first ever guest picks. And for our listeners at home, I'm just going to go through a quick recap of everyone's pick this week, just in case you want to tail on your own. To start, we got Big Dick's picks, starting off with Utah State at Fresno State. They got he has Utah State money line at plus 215. Following that, he's got Golden Knights against the Kraken minus 170. And his final pick is the Houston Astros correct series score 3-1 at minus 115. And to recap, Big Dick's picks from last week were 2 out of 3 total correct. He currently leads the podcast. Up next, we got Big Mo's picks. Starting off, it's a parlay between the San Francisco 49ers money line and the Philadelphia Eagles money line at minus 104. Following that, we got the Pittsburgh Penguins taking it to the Washington Capitals at minus 120. And then following, we got a parlay, Kansas money line and Wyoming plus 10 in college football at plus 200. My record for this week or last week was 1 out of 2. Still waiting on that Bedard bet to cash. We got about
7
6
minutes.
minutes and 50
seconds.
seconds. 50 seconds. So we'll see. But moving on, EPR. He's got the Blue Jackets edging out the Flyers at minus 130. Oregon taking it to Washington at plus 130. The Vikings taking it to the sad, decrepit Bears at minus 142. EPR's current record, because of all of his parlays, is currently 0 out of 2. But if the Penguins are able to get the job done, he is just hoping for the Colorado Avalanche to beat the Los Angeles Kings tomorrow night, and he is at 1-3. Moving on to AMZ. Moving on to AMZ, he's at a 0-3 record, as
Positive
you've already
0-3.
heard.
Positive 0-3.
Already heard 0-3.
Really close 0-3.
Yeah.
Really close.
Really close.
It's
Really
like a
close.
close sweep, a close 0-3. It's, very close to 3-0 if you just flip the numbers.
It was Lakers versus Denver last year. Very close.
Exactly.
Could have
Close
gone
sweep.
either way. Really
Oh,
even.
I love
series.
love the Denver love from Mikey there. All right, but AMZ's picks this week, hopefully trying to get to 3-6 and maybe reestablish his lock status. We are looking at the Raiders -3 against the Patriots, -112. Then following that, we have a parlay coming at plus 214 odds. We got Washington money line against Oregon and the over of 67. Following that, we got, I don't know about this one, but 49ers alternate spread -12.5. That's a lot of points, but it's at plus 223. That's better than my odds last week for Oklahoma against Texas. So hopefully that one hits. Hopefully you guys trail that one. But I am skeptical, I'll say the least. All right, moving on to Mikey's picks. Our number one guest, potentially the number one pick in. Oh shit! Oh, I thought Bedard just scored.
He got excited.
Someone else. But that's looking bad for EPR's pick right now. All right, sorry about that. To our listeners, back to Mikey's picks. We got Jaguars -4 over the Colts at -112. We got the decrepit, trying to get their shit back together Cowboys with their whole fan base traveling to Los Angeles, -2.5 at -110 odds. And finally, we got Pete Carroll and the boys, the Seahawks, +2.5 against
Geno
the Bengals.
Smith will outplay Joe Burrow. That's my hot take for that game.
All right.
I love it. And with that concludes this week's picks. But it brings me to the next segment, the one you've all been waiting for. The number one resounding, undisputed champion of the podcasting world. It's the Ashtray Parlay.
Yeah.
Oh, boys, I've
Big
been
Dick's
sitting in the casino in Reno. I've been cooking up this one with all my boys. Even Kyle's all the way in on this one, boys. He wants those Marlboros. And for those of you at home, if you are completely lost right now, what we do every week is we do an Ashtray Parlay. What that is picture that you're a smoker. Picture you are fiending for that Marlboro, trying to get that Camel, trying to get whatever you can, whatever nicotine you can get straight to your brain, trying to just find it. You're just looking under the bed, you're looking under the mattress, you're climbing into your grandma's window at the middle of the night, you're breaking into her underwear drawer, you're taking all her shit, you're looking for cigarettes, but there's nothing there. You just come to the point where you finally just find the ashtray. And the ashtray has that one full unsmoking cigarette of the guy that's trying to catch the bus back to his folks in Iowa. The Ashtray Parlay.
Let's go.
What do we got? What do we got? I'm so ready
All
to ride
right,
this
boys.
shit.
I hope you are absolutely fired up for this one. We're going back to the world of college football.
Hopefully it's better than last week.
I'm feeling like there's gonna be some money there at some point this season. I've already won a couple parlays.
Just to clarify,
What's that?
last week, what bet did the Ashtray Parlay lose on?
Yeah, let's clarify.
The first one.
Oh, okay.
Was it
All
was
right.
it after bashing Nebraska? Was that it? Huh?
Yeah, it was. But
Another
it also lost
resounding-
on a couple other legs, so
It
I'm
did?
not even worried about it. But yeah,
It was really solid though.
Yeah. Well, Big Mo got a text
was.
from me
This
right
is the
away.
one. This is the one. This is the one. Though.
All right.
Let's
I
get
feel
into
it.
it. What do we got?
I can
I'm
hear it.
fired
Come
up.
on,
Let's
come
go.
on,
Let's
come
go.
on, come on, come on.
Let's go.
All right. Last week, I know I led you to the Ashtray. I know you were digging your fingers into the sand. And there's nothing there. It was just a bunch of dirty old cigarette butts and a bunch of spit and gross shit and bottle caps. But this motherfucking week, we're gonna hit a $1 bet. $1 for darts and $1 for the Ashtray Parlay wins you $2,946.33.
That's
Holy shit, that's a
nice.
lot of cigarettes.
Wow.
That's a lot of
That could
cigarettes.
buy you a lot.
Woo.
Big Dick, you hear that?
Woo.
You hear how many cigarettes you could buy with that? He's already
cigarettes.
calculating
He's-
it.
he's
He can't do
pounding on
math,
the
but
door.
he can figure it out
He
in
looks a
cigarette
little
packets.
too excited, if you know what I mean.
He
Get
can't
him a
do
calculator.
he can't do regular math, but cigarette math.
Yeah,
is
he
second
literally
nature.
does carton math. It's
He
impressive.
is the Big Dick is showing.
Wow.
We'll lay it
I
on
wish
us.
I could do carton math. But you're gonna need to do carton math after you try and buy all those cigarettes after this one hits. So starting it off in college football, we got West Virginia money line against Houston. Following that, we got Memphis at home taking it to Tulane. Following that, we got the ultimate beatdown of the fake Aggies, the Fresno State versus Utah State. We got a money line minus 225 there. Then we got Florida State taking it to Syracuse. Alabama absolutely destroying Arkansas, but I'm not that confident, so I'm just going to put a money line at minus 1200. Then we got Navy against Charlotte. Navy money line, fucking duh. Come on. And then we got Oregon. I'm sorry, AMZ. I think Oregon's going to fucking win this one, and it's got better value at
Let's
plus
go.
130. Then we're throwing it to one of my picks this week. We got Kansas taking it to Oklahoma State. Then Tennessee, the Vols, are going to destroy Texas A&M. They had a rough week last week. I'm going to talk about it later. But BYU, the Mormons, are going to destroy the other Christian school or Mormon school or whatever religious school it is at TCU. BYU is going to win that one. Then we got Florida beating South Carolina. Buffalo, -5. Army West Point to beat Troy. And Louisville against Pittsburgh. Finish it all off for a 14 pick plus 294,533 parlay, boys. Let's fucking go.
What?
All right. All right.
Absolute
Okay.
parlay that
All
is.
right.
All right.
This is it. This is the fucking week.
I
man.
feel-
This
I
is
feel
it.
great
This is
about
it. I'm
that.
digging for it. I'm going for it.
This is the week. This is the week.
This is the week.
Are we? Is Army any good this year?
Which one? The team or the
So
military?
you just gotta go for it. I don't know. You just
Yeah.
gotta go for it. I have no clue, but
You're
I'm
right,
betting
you're
this shit.
They're the
Well, they
military.
lost to-
If you
they
don't
lost
support
to
them, you're
the
a
lowly-
communist.
Yeah.
The
If you don't
West
support our
Point lost-
troops.
If I remember correctly, West Point lost to UL Monroe week 1.
I mean, they're sleepers for the playoff. I mean, UL Monroe. I don't know what UL stands for, but they sound good.
All right. No,
Yeah,
I love it. I
got
think
them-
that
I got them
my
military
grubby
boys.
fingers are in there. I'm tailing it for sure.
Put
Alright.
put $1 on it. You know what?
Yeah.
What's gonna hurt for $1?
All right, I'm ready. No, I like it.
You got to join us. Yep. Get your
All
fingers
right,
dirty.
And And
They
if you
are
have,
filthy.
and if you've made it to this point of the podcast, you've made it all the way through the Ashtray Parlay, it is time for us to talk to you about responsible gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Responsible gambling is the number one key to continuously keep gambling. If you're able to do it smartly and not gamble the mortgage at the same time, you can have some fun. You can play some bets with EPR, Amesy, Big Dick, and our guests like Mikey and I. If you have a problem with gambling, make sure you call the gambling hotline. That is 1-800-522-4700. Make sure you guys give them a call if you have any trouble stopping your gambling addiction. I know that it is an addiction, but I fucking love it, so I'm going to keep doing it every week. Maybe I should give them a call at some point. What do you think, Gamesy?
You know what? What we always say, just don't bet anything you are not afraid to lose. As long as you do that, you're fucking good.
Yeah, you can go 0-3 and still be happy, right?
Yeah. What just happened in this game, by the way?
Yep, Hawks are up 4-2 now.
Oh, man.
Sounds like an empty netter went in, you know?
Any Bedard action? No, okay. All right.
Pull the goalie again.
Yeah.
Hey, EPR. Well, yeah, welcome to the 0-3 heap. It's pretty nice down here.
Yeah.
I mean, not as close as my 0-3 was, but, yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, I will gladly take the 1-3 if Bedard doesn't score an empty netter here.
43 seconds. On to, so we got a couple segments left to clean it up after the classic, the fabled Ashtray Parlay. Let's you think it's time Big Mo move on to the butt of the week?
I think it's time. I'm ready to talk about the butt of the week.
Yeah, I want to hear your guys' butts first.
All
All right. Well, I want to go first. I want to go first, please.
Okay. What do you got?
My butt of the week is the entire state that gave me shit for my Oklahoma pick last week on this pod. That is the state of Texas. State of Texas is my butt of the week. Absolutely atrocious. See where I went with that, Amesy? Atrocious showing from the state of Texas last week in the sport that is theirs. It's like if Canada lost at hockey, they blew it in every aspect of football. Not only did UT lose against Oklahoma, which is something I was very happy about, the Cowboys, the Texans, A&M, TCU, and Baylor all lost. The only team that won was Texas Tech. And guess why they won? Because they played Baylor. So there had to be one team from Texas that got the win. There are two teams in the MLB playoffs, but we all know that Texas cares about football. So my butt of the week is the state of Texas.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas, like this, I feel like this year was different for them. Like, when have they been good? Like not in the last 12 years at least. Colt McCoy was the last time that Texas was really good at football. Mm-hmm. So it was an extreme embarrassment. That was a good call, Big Mo. I'll say it. That was a good call. I appreciate it. I got for my butt of the week. I'm gonna go to the Bills, and it wasn't going to be the Bills just because they had a bad game until there was a person that came out and said sources in the Bills camp said one of the reasons why they played poorly was because of the time change, and you are a professional athlete.
Yeah.
You can't deal with a time change. I mean, you know what? Just have a coffee, dude. I mean, you're going to blame the time change for playing badly in London? I mean, if I
Come on, buddy, mix in some high knees on the plane.
Yeah, just, realize that you're getting paid like $1 million a game and then play football.
Well, the problem was they flew in on Friday. Nobody made them do that.
Yep.
So
Ridiculous.
It was very self-inflicted.
It was very self-inflicted. I completely
agree.
It's
an immature team.
And that's why I'm not even just going Bills players. I'm going Bills in general. A team that is used to winning. So, like, if the Chiefs, I guarantee the Chiefs would not have flown in on Friday. And just the fact that, and then they came out and said it afterwards. It's just like, come on, Bills. Also, you lost me money.
The Chiefs would have been there since World War II. Yeah. Come on.
Exactly. EPR, you got a butt of the week this week?
You know, I actually changed mine.
Okay.
Here, let me think. In the last 90 seconds. So my butt of the week. I'm not going to do this every week, but I feel like it's deserving starting this podcast off. You know, it's going to be one cheek each, but Amesy and I each make up the butt of the week, going 0-3 to start this podcast off.
A close 0-3, but yeah, you know,
I don't
what? I'm
care
right
how
there with
close
you.
it is. You're
Yep.
the left cheek. I'm
Yep.
the right.
Yep.
We make up the butt of the
0-3.
week.
Yeah,
And Big Dick is just coming right in the
He
middle
is-
of you
Yep.
two.
He
just
literally is
right
between
in
us
the
right
middle,
now.
just-
I
Yeah.
hate the way he's smirking. Is the problem? Like, it's so creepy.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm gonna own up to that. Maybe look ahead for better days. But I'll take that one. Butt of the
Yeah.
week, co-ownership.
If you're gonna be a responsible gambler, don't go 0-3.
Yeah.
And you know, that hurt. Took it to the chin, and we're gonna get back next week with some golden locks.
Yep. I won't be there next week, so I've got a better one for you.
Okay.
Well, with that, Mikey, do you have any picks for your butt of the week or anyone you want to call out? I'm not meaning to
mean-
put you on the spot.
No, Texas as a state was a really good one. Obviously, Cowboys really. I really liked the ones y'all picked. Butt of the week. No, I don't have one right now.
All
No,
good.
not off
That's
the top of
okay.
my head.
Good,
But
all
I
good.
really,
Well, it's
I
not
think
part of
the
your contract.
Bills in the Well, I already got the wine at the
Yeah,
beginning,
that's true.
and I
Yeah.
have indulged heavily since.
Yeah. Did you
The
see
first
what
segment.
was with the wine under it?
Yes, but all of the two loose cigarettes.
That was Big Dick's contribution. He
Oh,
wanted to make sure
well,
you knew.
But yeah.
I was glad. One was half smoked, but you know, I think
He's
he just,
guilty. So-
You know what? It's more than he ever gives us.
Oh
is
yeah,
that
no, it
so?
feels
Yeah,
it's really
yes.
special to be welcomed in as the first guest of the show, even by the biggest Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let's you know, do we have any updates on futures?
I do have an update on the futures, and I do want to just point out one fact. That respect has gone back towards Big Dick's favor. I think Mikey was the first person to call him Richard the entire podcast, if I'm not mistaken. So
Wait, Big
earned
Dick,
it. He
did you
earned it.
hear that? He didn't even catch it. But
well,
Mikey,
good. I'm never
Mikey-
gonna say it again. I'm
Mikey,
never
he's
gonna
got
say it
something for you.
My name's not
Oh
Richard.
gosh.
It's Dick. I prefer Dick.
All right.
He's got to let
he's
you know.
going back. He's got to
I
let
see.
you know.
I see.
He
That's my
prefers
bad.
Dick.
He
And
does.
speaking of prefer Dick, before we go to the futures, we do have to go to our Ride the Dick or Beat the Dick
man.
segment.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh no.
And
feeling
unfortunately, all three of us are having to ride the Dick this week. None of us beat him. None of us beat the Dick.
Took it on the cheeks and had to ride the dick. It's been a tough evening.
Yeah.
It's been a tough evening.
It really has.
Jeez.
But hey, that's why we're here
Yeah.
to do it again this
you know
week.
what?
And this
next
time
week
we're gonna beat the Dick.
yeah, you know, it's gonna be a perfect 12-0 against the Dick. Hopefully, well, 11-1 because either me or EPR is gonna have to lose one. But yeah, that was a
And
tough
we
week.
could both go 0-6 to start. So
That's true. Yeah, let's have Washington win in the under hit.
I want to know what the odds of that are.
0-6. Yeah.
Can we start putting odds on our betting odds? Like, what's the?
And if you
Hey,
have
maybe we get sponsored by a sports book. We can.
I was about
Yeah.
to say odds on the odds. Might be when we go back to the, you know, if you have trouble with gambling, call
Yes.
for help.
Yeah, it starts compounding. Amesy going 0-6 plus 250.
Yeah. All right. I'll lead into ending up with futures. I was gonna throw a future on the board, and it was gonna be Lions winning the division because I am a Packers fan, and in my lifetime, the Packers have never been this bad. There's no hope. It is all terrible. You know, same thing for the Vikings, same things for the Bears. Bears honestly probably have a little more hope than the Vikings or the Packers right now, which is just disgusting.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Vegas was ahead of me, and the Lions are already minus 475 to win the division. So I'm not even going to bother throwing that on the board. But I thought it was worth bringing up that the Packers are ass.
I'm glad that you brought it up on your own.
Yeah,
thank you.
because we would have otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta get ahead of it there.
EPR, you got any futures bets this week you're going to throw up on the board that's been staying at your house?
Well, yeah, it's actually carry it with me everywhere, so you already know that. I keep it in a secured briefcase when I travel, but usually I have to put it on like a sling because once again, that is a 1-inch thick piece of steel. So quite heavy and very permanent. So yeah, I could add this on here. I don't know what the odds would be. Do we need specific odds or is this
What
just
do you
more
got?
of our choice?
Yeah, what are you doing?
You don't need odds just yet, but we'll post it to social media at some point.
Yeah, with the odds.
Yeah. So I have this year. I kind of called this out before as a bit of a I don't know if he's underrated, but maybe just not as well recognized. But Logan Cooley, I have him scoring over 55 points this season. I think he gets his
Or the
career off.
Yotes.
Yep. Even though he's on a bad team, I just think that they're going to utilize him in a way that makes him look better. I mean, you look at their best player right now, and that he started off slow, right? And at the end of the day, he's now amazing. And I think they're going to just try to play him with him a little bit more, get him some confidence. The veterans will show him some ways. So yeah, I wouldn't put it like the $100 or anything more than 50, but like the $25, I put Logan Cooley over 55 points this season.
We got a 10, a 50, and a $100 category.
All right,
where you put
sorry,
50?
10. I misspoke. I meant
10. Okay,
I was
all
thinking
right.
25.
Just to
All
right.
recap, by the way, my $50 Houston Texans to win the division also not looking great.
Not after last week's. Nope.
Just to
And
add
that is
insult.
engraved. That
It's
is engraved.
It's
It is.
engraved. It's in steel.
It
Come
took me exactly 54 minutes to carve that into
Yep.
it. So
and I have
hope
to
you're
stare
happy.
at it for the rest of the season. So
Yeah.
Houston Texans, pick it up. Come on.
I got carpal tunnel making that happen. So
Yeah. So I have an update. I had a lot of money on division winners for the NFL this year.
Oh.
I put a lot of futures down. My main building block of that was Kansas City and Jacksonville parlayed together. They're both pretty, minus money to win their division. But when you parlayed them together, they were a little bit plus money. And then I started adding in a couple others. So my main other two were Miami Dolphins to win the division, which started out at plus 290 and is now they're the favorites in the division, obviously.
Nice.
And unfortunately, my other leg is Dallas Cowboys to win the division at plus 175, which is still about the same value right now.
could still happen.
So some of these have appreciated in value, but outside track, I really need Philly to slip up here and Dallas to come back and win that division. So
Okay.
Aren't
Possible.
futures bets the best though?
Probably more
they're a lot of
possible
fun.
than the Texans winning at this point, but
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I have one that is the most possible to ever be. Now, I'm gonna throw one up there on the $10 category for this week.
bit of a
It's
bit of a
gonna be-
180 there, Big Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a joke because it's a future parlay. So
okay, all right.
you all know how unlikely those are to happen, but you get it at plus 7,050 odds. But I think it's actually a pretty likely bet to happen. I got
Yeah, with those
the
odds, it sounds
homer bet.
likely.
The homer bet, the Colorado Avalanche to win the Stanley Cup and the Denver Nuggets to win the NBA championship. So
I'm actually
plus 1,000
shocked that
Avs,
that's-
plus
wow.
550 Nuggets,
I'm
plus
shocked.
7,050 overall.
Damn,
Dang.
I might drop some money on that.
Well,
I would if I were you,
All right.
as
unless you have a
bit of
gambling
homer,
problem.
I would love to agree with that, and I truly hope that happens. So that's all I'll say on that part.
All right. Well, I think that concludes this week's episode. Boys, unless you have anything else,
No,
anyone
sir.
have any other closing comments?
No, thank you to everyone listening. We got some really positive, comments after our first week, and we're happy to be helping you or hurting you in some bets every week.
And it was an absolute pleasure to have the one and only Mikey along with us today on today's podcast. Make sure to follow whatever he wants to promote here or whatnot. But Mikey, floor is yours. Thanks for being our first guest.
Yes,
Yeah,
thanks,
no,
Mikey.
had a blast here. Really, no social media to promote right now. Just tail my bets, make some money, and I'll be back here as the #1 March Madness pick,
Hell
and
yeah.
back for another bottle of wine and 1.5 cigarettes.
There we
Okay.
go. First guest, #1 seed.
You heard it here, folks.
I'm ready.
All right, boys, should we close it out with our normal see ya?
Sounds
Oh,
good.
yeah.
All right, boys.
See ya!